What's up, everybody? Doug Lane here, Fastlane Car Care. Today we got a 2004 Infiniti G35. Pretty nice little car. Yeah, for an 04, pretty clean. I've already got this back window cut out and shrank and everything, and we're ready to install. Actually, we're ready to install everything but the windshield strip. This was a complete removal and retint. Had some old purple stuff on it, probably tinted since 4 or 5. Probably about the year some of you guys out there were born. So, go ahead. Excuse me. I've got the inside prepped. And that was a fun part. Really, there's nothing crazy about this other than what I'm going to show you here in a second. I'm not sure if this is considered a hatchback or not, because that's not really a trunk, but it's also not really a hatch. I don't know. But anyway, regardless of what it's considered, it's going to be a good time here. It was a lot of fun using the steamer to remove this tint. I'll show you why here in a second. We're doing 5% carbon tint on this all the way around. Nice young man. Booked online. We'll do a little, let's roll it up a little bit more than that. Rolled up like most of the way here. So here is the issue here. I'm not even a big guy, and I can't find any better way to do this. Let's see if we can get you angled right. Hopefully that's close. Like I said, I've already scrubbed this glass down, squeegeed it multiple times. All that good stuff. I figured I'd spare you guys that. I mean, you've watched one heat shrinking video, you've watched them all for the most part. Ugh. So what I want to do here, I mainly want to just get the bottom started, so at least it'll hang on the glass. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that. I may just have to take the rest of this off. I just kind of took a guess on my slip solution because the last few days have been in the 80s and 90s, and today they're calling for the high to be 71, so it's significantly cooler than what it has been. So we just dumped a gallon in the keg to dilute it down to something that I figured would be close. It seems livable. It's not quite where I would normally want it, but it's not bad. Now, one of the big problems, excuse me, let's get that out of here. One of the big problems with having this dot matrix, the film really likes to stick to it if you've prepped it correctly, which I just use a steel wool scrubby. One of these right here, nothing special. Get them at any place that sells stuff to do dishes. Like, you can get them there. Nothing fancy at all, but it roughs up that matrix real nice and makes stuff, you know, window tint stick to it a lot better. So this carbon, this is Helios carbon tint. It generally has a little bit weaker adhesive than, say, Orbit, which is their color stable stuff. Not that that's a bad thing. You just kind of have to, you know, one, you have to dilute your mix down. You've got to run a little bit different slip solution than what you normally would, and that's kind of frustrating to me, but it's kind of one of those things. Like, it's a good product, it works really well, it's just, you know, one of those little nuances. So I feel like I'm getting myself into trouble up here. So I've got a little finger there, looks like a little finger there. Even though if you did get a little crease in this dot matrix, you'd probably never see it. I'd rather not. And this is 100% my fault, because where it's trying to tack up here, I can't shift this film exactly where I want it. But I'll show you how to get around that here in a second. That might be more than a second, but you know what I mean. So we're just gonna kind of, you can see the tension of where it wants to go. We're just gonna kind of push it towards where it wants to go. It's not rocket science here. Man, I think I could have done this window without the bulldozer entirely, but come across here one more time. Hard pass. I'm kind of leave the matrix alone. It's kind of one of the worst situations to be in as a business owner. This car, I know that sounds terrible, I'm sure. This car was booked online, and partially my fault. I got a hold of them to make sure, you know, see what tint they wanted so I could have that ready and everything. Ugh. I should have double checked to make sure it did not have any existing tint on it, but I didn't, so it is what it is. But we got the third brake light removed in here. It's one of those super easy ones. Just kind of pulls up and back. Not really a big deal. So you can kind of see we got a little bit of something going on right there. Take my hard card here, felt wrapped or whatever. That's going to do two things. One, it's going to shrink up that extra film that we had. gonna shrink up the extra film that we had, but it's also going to help make sure that the glue starts to dry out. We get this extra moisture out. It's gonna tack up to this dot matrix better than what it would if we just left it be. Now we just need to clean up our mess. You know, our drips and whatnot. Looks like we got coverage everywhere, which is fantastic. Ugh. This is a definite core workout here. So you can see our brake light right here. Move this. I tucked the little connector down in there. Let's see. So it looks like it must go right there. Yep, perfect. Tuck this down in. And looks like that just kind of okay. Got tabs right there. Boom, boom. Tuck that little guy in. Bingo, bango. Now, got some streakage here. I don't know what this deal here is. It's like, it almost looks like spray foam or some kind of foam that got stuck on there. But anyway, that's how you do the back window on a 2004. Goodness. I'm stuck. 2004 Infiniti. Whew. G35. Where's my glass cleaner? Oh man, it's in the hatch. I'll go around the other way. You can see we don't have any little fingers or anything. Looks like we got a little moisture pocket right there. We can push that out here in a second. I got a pool noodle on the window because the latch is tricked, and that means the window's all the way up, and these the little things that hold the door open, they're just wore out, so they're not working. Tell you what, the irony of today is I wasn't planning on working at all. I had nothing scheduled, and I don't get very many people that book online like per year, but I had 2 full vehicles book for today, which, like I said, doesn't happen hardly ever. And then they ended up both happening on a day I wasn't planning on working. But is what it is. It'll be all right. Now you can hear the glue doing its thing. Wipe this down. Voila. Go ahead and get this razor blade out, so we're not gonna need it. Goodness gracious. Whew. Whew. You see we got that little spot out of the way. Other than that, man, this thing's ready to dry out in the sun. But I want to go ahead and get the rest of these windows stuck, because obviously with having to remove the tint unexpectedly, I'm just a touch behind schedule. But thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.